Facebook family and friends. This is Vernon Ashby coming to you from my home office. I have received a lot of positive feedback from my initial video where I explained that the wealthy does not have an unfair advantage when it comes to tax write-offs. That in fact, we all have access to the same write-offs as long as we are business owners. All right. And so, what I've decided to do, based on all of the positive feedback and the many shares I've received of my video, I've decided to create another video where I actually show you step by step on how to create a company. All right. For less than a pair of Jordans, as I stated in my initial video, you can start a company. And I am going to show you how to do that in this video. All right. So, as a disclaimer, I must say I am not a tax professional and I am not a professional accountant or financial advisor. This information is for informational purposes only. And I suggest that if you have any further questions with starting a company, to please always refer to a professional tax preparer or a professional accountant. All right. First things first, before you get started, I suggest that you go to a library or a Barnes and Nobles and purchase a book for how to start a limited liability company for dummies, or how to start a company for dummies. One of my business mentors advised that I do that, and I followed his instructions, and I brought a book and for how to start a company and read it cover to cover, and basically gave me an overview of the different types of corporations and their pros and cons. All right. Once I did that, I moved forward to starting my company. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is go to Google. All right. And I want you to type SCC. SCC. And as you see, the SCC VA will pop up. That stands for State Corporation Commission for Virginia. Click on that. These are for my Virginia residents. All right, as you see, the links will pop up. And what I want you to do is click on the Virginia State Corporation Commission link to go to their website. All right, once you go to the website, you can see right here, it says use SCCE file to form a Virginia Stock Corporation or LLC. All right, so we are looking to start a company in the state of Virginia. All right, so what we're going to do is click on the SCCE file. And as you can see, I'm just going to do a quick pan of the web page. All right, it says right here, new business formations. On the second dot, it says form a new Virginia Limited Liability Company. Get started. All right. Well, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, we need to make sure that the name that we want to use for our business can actually be used. All right. So basically what you need to do, if we go over here to the far left, we need to check and make sure that our business name is not in conflict with any other business names in the state of Virginia or whatever state you reside in. Okay, so you're going to click on check name distinguishability. All right, once you click on that, you're going to type in the business name that you wish to use and click check name, and the SEC web page will do a search and make sure that no other businesses in the state of Virginia or the state in which you reside has that exact name or a name very similar to the name that you would like to use. All right. Once you are able to use a name and that there is no other name in your state that resembles that name, you will go back to the previous page where it says new business formations. All right. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on get started. Once you click on get started, new entity formation. All right. What you're going to do, you want to form a Virginia limited liability company, or it's most likely will show the state that you reside in, and you're going to form a limited liability company. So you will click on that. And right here it says this action requires a login, email address, and password. So for you all who are starting a new company, you need to create an account. All right. So please just click on create an account. And once you finish creating your account and have an email address and a password, I'm going to go ahead and click cancel. You're going to log in. And once you log in, you can continue with forming your new limited liability corporation. The filing fee online is $100. All right. The filing fee period is $100. All right. And that's where I get the statement, start a company for less than a pair of Jordans. Jordans cost more than $100. All right. Once you pay your $100 fee online and you finish filling out your forms, ladies and gentlemen, you are now a business owner, and welcome to entrepreneurship. Once you file and make your payment, all right, you will be emailed a certificate that you can print out, and it will state the Commonwealth of Virginia State Corporation Commission. All right. This is a certified that the Certificate of Organization of Tight Grouping Firearms Training LLC was this day issued and admitted to record in this office, and that the said limited liability company is authorized to transact its business subject to all Virginia laws applicable to the company and its business. Effective date February 14, 2015. All right, this is the certificate that you will print out to show that you are a legitimate business owner. And at this point right here, ladies and gentlemen, you will have access to over 400 write-offs, the same write-offs that many millionaires and billionaires use. Okay, so as I stated it earlier, most people think that the wealthy, you have to be wealthy, and the wealthy has access to tax write-offs. No, business owners have access to tax write-offs, and a lot of business owners are wealthy, or most wealthy people are business owners. That is why that gives the illusion that only wealthy people have access to tax write-offs. All right, and so I've just showed you how to start your company step by step. All right, so now your next step should be to apply for your EIN number. Your EIN number stands for your employer identification number. Okay, that is the equivalent of your business social security number. So how you do that is you are going to go to the web address box and go to irs.gov. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not be afraid of the IRS. In actuality, most of the so-called secrets that the rich or the top 1% and 5% teach their family members and those in their communities can be found hidden in plain sight on the IRS webpage. All right. So you're going to go to the IRS webpage, irs.gov, and you need to apply for your EIN number. So go under Tools, and right here it says Apply for an Employer ID Number. You click on that, and as you can see, apply for an Employer Identification Number or your EIN online. Okay, what you're going to do is basically just click on Apply Online Now. You are already a legitimate business entity. So once you fill out the proper paperwork, the IRS database systems, if you will do a quick search and find your business name and issue you out your EIN number. Applying for your EIN number is free of charge. Okay, so there is no fee for that. All right, you are now a business owner. Okay, now I will state that depending on what type of business you are going into, You may or may not be able to immediately start operating in your business. Okay? So, but at this point, you can start claiming over 400 tax write-offs. So if you need to become certified, get a certain certifications before you can start operating in your company, or if you need a certain license, if there's a fee to that, okay, you can now write that all off. Okay? And that's only just a few write-offs, and you have access to over 400 of them. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I've made a straightforward video and showed you how you can start a company for less than a pair of Jordans. All right, stay tuned to the next video. I will make a video where I will explain to you what exactly a tax write-off is and how it is beneficial to you as an individual as far as your taxes are concerned. Okay, and also I will discuss briefly on the advantages of being a business owner. All right, I hope this video was very helpful. Take care and peace and blessings.